Hello and welcome to my mini lesson over World War One. World War One was a major conflict that took place from 1914 to 1918, and it changed the world. Even though most fighting happened in Europe, the war involved countries from all around the world. People at the time called it the Great War because they had never seen anything so large and devastating. The Great War didn't start suddenly. There were four big causes that built up tension over many years. We call them the main causes. This acronym includes militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Let's take a look at each one. Militarism means countries were building up huge armies, powerful navies, and new weapons. Each country wanted to be stronger than its neighbors. This made everyone nervous because when one country expanded its military, others felt they needed to expand too. This arms race made war much more likely. Many countries also formed alliances, which are agreements to protect one another. These alliances were supposed to keep peace, but they actually increased the chance of a bigger war. If one country got attacked, all of its allies were dragged into the conflict. Next is imperialism. Imperialism means countries were competing to control land, resources, and colonies, especially in Africa and Asia. This competition caused arguments and bad feelings between powerful nations. Everyone wanted more land and more power, and they were willing to fight for it. And for the last part of main, we have nationalism. Nationalism is strong pride in one's country. Leaders used nationalism to unite people, but it also caused problems. Some countries felt superior to others, and ethnic groups wanted independence from empires. This created anger, rivalries, and conflicts all over Europe. All four main causes were happening at the same time. Countries were armed, divided into alliances, fighting over colonies, and full of national pride. This made Europe extremely tense. People described Europe as a powder keg, meaning it was ready to explode. All it needed was one spark to start a huge war. That spark happened on June 28, 1914, when Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary was assassinated. Austria-Hungary blamed Serbia and declared war. Because of alliances, other countries joined within days. What started as a small conflict quickly turned into a world war. From August 1st through 4th, Germany, Russia, France, and Britain quickly joined the fighting. During the war, the two major sides were the Allied powers and the Central Powers. The Allied powers included Britain, France, Russia, Italy, and later the United States. The Central Powers were Germany, Austria-Hungary, the Ottoman Empire, and Bulgaria. You'll also notice events like the sinking of the Lusitania by a German submarine. This attack killed civilians and helped push the United States into the war. One of the most famous parts of World War I was trench warfare. Soldiers lived and fought in long ditches called trenches. Life in the trenches was extremely difficult. They were muddy, cold, and often filled with rats and insects. Soldiers faced constant danger from bombs, gas attacks, and enemy fire. Because both sides were stuck in trenches, the war moved very slowly, and there were massive numbers of casualties. In 1916, two of the longest and deadliest battles took place: the Battle of Verdun and the Battle of the Somme. Verdun lasted almost an entire year with over 700,000 casualties. The Somme caused over 1 million casualties. This was also the first time tanks were used in battle. A major turning point happened in 1917. Russia had a revolution and began leaving the war because the country was collapsing from hunger, poverty, and political change. Meanwhile, the United States joined the Allied powers. This gave the Allies fresh shoulders and supplies. The end was approaching in 1918 when Germany tried one last massive attack called the Spring Offensive. It didn't succeed. The Allies pushed back in battles like the Second Battle of the Marne. Finally, on November 11, 1918, an armistice was signed. The fighting stopped at exactly 11 a.m. The war officially ended in 1919 with the Treaty of Versailles. Germany was forced to accept blame for the war and pay heavy penalties. Millions of soldiers and civilians had died. New countries were created. The League of Nations was formed to try to keep peace, but the treaty's harsh punishment of Germany later helped fuel anger that led to World War II. World War I changed the world in many ways. Empires collapsed, new countries were formed, the United States became a major world power, the League of Nations tried to keep peace, and the instability left behind made it easier for powerful dictators to rise in the years that followed.